You know
Joe
what,
Cupcake.
Calvin,
What?
before we get started, I gotta correct you on one thing you said last episode. Because
Oh
I just listened
shit.
to the last episode on the way here.
Okay.
You said the Devil Wears Prada is the only Christian metalcore band that fucks, and I am
Yes.
sorry, but that band would not exist without Norma Jean or Zayo.
Okay, listen, man. Here's the thing,
And the
though.
first Norma Jean record, okay, I know the new stuff is whatever. The first record, it fucks, bro. I'm sorry.
Listen. Okay, listen.
Oh man, are you josting the bandana right now just to have this conversation with me?
No, it was my bandana was not on properly. But listen, man. Listen, okay. Norma Jean is great, right? But Norma
Yeah.
Jean isn't one of those outwardly Christian metal bands.
Not anymore. They used to be.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Devil Wears Prada has hold true. Like I'm not a Christian, but the Devil Wears, where the fuck did you go?
I can hear
I'm
you.
sorry.
Dude.
I'm sorry, listeners. If you're watching this on YouTube, Joe just stood up and
I can
walked
hear you.
out
I'm
the
turning on my
screen.
fan because I'm hot, dude.
Oh my god. I'm gonna let you guys know. Joel had ample time to fix his fucking fan situation.
Well, you know,
Before we started the show.
you just sang to me, and then my glasses got all steamy, so I needed the fan on, dude.
Christ.
Fuck, dude.
Anyway,
What do
I'm
you
not.
mean?
I'm
That's a
not
fucking
religious.
compliment, dude.
I'm not Christian,
It's a
and I'm not
fucking
religious.
compliment.
But the Devil Wears Prada, like they held true to this day. Like they're still all about that Jesus shit, and they fuck.
That's true.
So I'm just saying.
Okay, fine. Anyways, everybody, welcome on back to another episode of well, you know who we are. We're the Pex Pals.
And if you don't know who we are, like fuck, how'd you find this?
Well, we have gotten some new listeners. I've gotten a few messages, comments, tweets this week saying I just found the show, love it. Welcome in, everyone.
Welcome
Back to another episode of Pex Pals.
Pex Pals, the only Apex Legends podcast for the mediocre gamer. That's my line, Joel. Don't take my fucking line. The only Apex Legends podcast for the mediocre gamer. My name is Calvin, and my beautiful, voluptuous sidekick here is Joel Cupcake.
Sidekick? No. We're like the Justice League. We're co. Okay, dude.
Dude, but I'm Batman, so I know how to whip.
I'm not ass. Robin. Listen, never. Like maybe if it's the one that goes on to be Red Hood, where he's like an equally badass. Yeah. But he still bows to Batman's superior form of justice at the end. And I will not. The only thing I will ever bow to you then, Calvin, is you have a nicer dump truck than me, and you have a prettier voice than me.
Batman is the Devil Wears Prada for the Justice League Metalcore.
I fucking hate you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joel Cupcake. You can find me at that handle worldwide. You can also find our show worldwide at the handle Pex Pals Podcast. You can also reach out to us via email at pexpalspodcast@gmail.com. We have a lot to talk about today. Calvin, are you ready?
I'm fucking ready, dude.
You know what, Calvin? And I don't want to give the listeners our weapon of the week first because we got a lot to talk about, and then we'll do that.
Fuck that.
Okay. If you guys have been paying attention on Twitter, our Twitter, Apex Legends hashtag, whatever you want, doesn't matter. Dextro, it's a good nerd website. If you don't know what it is, look it up. They got a bunch of stuff out of one of the devs. We have a bunch of stuff that's already confirmed well before the patch notes are out. Patch notes are dropping on Monday. I don't know when you're listening to this, but Monday will be the 8th. So we are not getting official patch notes, aka legend changes, until the day before they actually go live. But we have a bunch of stuff that is confirmed. I'm just going to list these off one at a time. Calvin, I want your feedback. Mm-hmm. And if I think there's something important, I'll chime in. If not, you're smarter than me, so I'll just let you run with it. Okay, ready. First and foremost, Skulltown is back. Ever since Loba blew it up looking for Revenant's head or core programming or whatever the storyline was. Whatever. I don't even fucking remember. No, it doesn't matter. But Skulltown is back. It's lifted out of the ground. It's called Relic. There's the retaining wall at the edge of the map. Salvage is completely gone. There are doors in the retaining wall, so I'm thinking we get like a pseudo wall area like we have on Stormpoint. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's where some of those like the gold tier loot is getting moved to. Yeah, because remember there used to be that secret underground bunker in that area and some of that stuff. So that's back. Dope. Calvin, how we feel about that?
I dig it. My only you brought up something that I've been thinking about, but the gold loot. So what was what map are we on? I don't remember. But
World's Edge.
But like there was like guaranteed gold loot somewhere. Or no, it was Stormpoint with the armories, right? And then then the fucking pros bitched about gold loot in the armories, and they got rid of it. And
so
so
it doesn't drop the ball anymore in the armory, I think.
Right, which
So
is
for those of you
bullshit.
that don't know, if you're a mediocre gamer like me, you never even got a chance to unlock this. But basically, if you killed all the robots in a fast enough time in the armory, you would get
A gold orb.
you would get 8 loot bins.
Yes.
And a gold orb would drop from the sky,
Yes.
giving you 3 guaranteed gold items. The whole orb dropped you gold. It wasn't just one gold thing.
Right. It was the helmet, the backpack, and the knockdown shield.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So like, which is awesome, right? But the pros fucking bitched about, oh, gold, shut the fuck up. And then they got rid of it. So now they're adding all these quote unquote like hidden secret areas and all these maps. Like, what's the fucking point if you're not going to make it worthwhile to go there? You know, we're just going to go like death trap for the first 2 weeks of the season, and then everyone's going to stop going there again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
anyway,
I assume Caustic Town takeover is the only place that's going to have guaranteed goals now, as I would assume is that. Because they're going to have to rotate. They're going to have to rotate between Shipfall and Skulltown.
So I mean, like, yeah, I'm excited for all the changes to King Canyon is my favorite map. So like, I'm pretty stoked.
Well, and that's what I was about to say on the heels of that. So I'm just going to list all these at once. Most of you probably know what these are. I want to make sure we at least briefly discuss them, though. So there are lots of map changes coming. The term the devs use is increased land mass. They've sealed some of the rotations out of the center of the map. So the 2 big cave areas, they've sealed some of them off. They've also opened the big cave right by Market up. So you can now be aerial bombarded by Bangalore and Caustic, and Gibby. Okay. So there's that. They've increased the landmass. Basin they put more buildings with zip lines, which I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's called Basin now. It was Broken Relay. Relay was my original favorite place to land on that map.
That shit was dope.
And I think you agree. We always landed there together.
It was dope.
Before there was, what is that? Docks no, it's not Docks. Whatever it is in the corner now.
Yeah.
Refinery or some crap like that. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Let's see, what else do we got on here? There is a bunch of texture and color improvements. The map is brighter and more vibrant, which I'm excited for. On KC, which is obviously Kings Canyon, the map we're coming up to. That's mostly the map changes. And then they did spread out. They made a point to say that they spread out the loot pool. They improved the spawn rates and they improved how it's spread out, because that's the number one complaint. Like what you just said, the number one complaint with Kings Canyon is all the loot is in like 1 or 2 areas. Like even the drop ships aren't even worth it anymore.
That's true.
Like you get maybe 1 purple shield and that's it. There's no other reason to go there.
Right.
So there's all that. They did show some like sliders on the website where you can look at like, here's how this new location looks. Here's how the new POI looks.
That's cool.
They did change Cage, which I think is good. That'll switch up some battles.
Yeah, interesting.
Stuff. Yeah.
You know what's funny is it's like I said, King Canyon is my favorite map. I like it. One of the reasons why I like it is because it's one of the few maps where you have an actual clear like 400-meter sniping distance. And it's from that platform, on the south part of the map, just north of Caustic.
Diving board or whatever.
The diving board up there, just north of Caustic. That thing right there, you can look all the way down to where the canyon split, where like there's that path right down the middle of the mountain. And that's like 400 something meters away. It's like one of the few maps where you actually like get a good clear line of sight and like and not have anyone like be able just to push you and fuck you up. And so like I think that's cool. More vibrant colors, I think that's good too, because it lends to that visibility for it.
Yes.
God, what was that last thing that you just fucking said about the map?
Well, they cut off. They changed some of the rotations. So some of like the mountains near Cage, some of those are sealed. So you have to go all the way around.
Cage, that's right. So they changed Cage, and I'm actually kind of a little upset about this because I liked going up there and sniping people far away. You know what I mean? And it wasn't foolproof, right? Because you can get fucked by the Pathfinder rope up top, or just anybody. Like, I'm not gonna get into specifics about it, but like that was just fun to do. I don't know. I feel like I feel like the game is taking a turn to the not fun. You know what I'm saying? I feel
Yeah.
like
Continuing that turn. It already kind of turned that way this last season.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Last season was not fun.
No.
Or this current season was not fun.
Yeah.
And like they're taking this turn to the not fun to like so that the pros are happier. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm excited for Kings Canyon.
Yeah. Good. Me too. Me too.
Anyway,
I am excited. I am excited it's coming back. We got the legendary skins for the season are Caustic, and as you have probably noticed, every time we do one of these fucking videos, we always comment on how like, oh, like when they did the Down Beast trailer, Wraith wasn't even in the trailer, thank fuck.
Mhm.
And all this stuff. You Wraith mains, you're finally getting some love back. The legendary skin is Wraith.
See,
The other
like,
one is Caustic. I love
Caustic
it.
and Wraith.
He
See, but, like,
looks like Bane.
even though she wasn't in the trailer, she still got fucking badass skins throughout the season.
Correct.
So it's like, fuck Wraith. I don't know. That's all I gotta say about that. Fuck Wraith. The Caustic skin looks dope. Bald
Hashtag fuck
Caustic,
Wraith.
fucking
Yeah.
dope. Reminds me of Bald Joel. Remember the Bald Joel era?
Oh, dude,
Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that.
I'm gonna give you one of these, and then I'm gonna give you one of these. Not even, dude.
Joel's signaling like cut it out with his hands, and he's
Yeah.
he's batting me away with his hand. So
Yes. Let's see. Biggest change that I think is actually it's going to increase the fun and it's going to increase your ability to fight back on Kings Canyon.
okay.
I think overall this is a bad move. This is a very bad move.
Mm.
The fucking Skull Piercer is back,
Dude.
and you can put it on the 30-30.
Yes, dude. Yes,
So-
I'm
so-
so stoked.
So as a
about that.
30-30 nut, I'm excited. I
I'm
really am.
fucking
But-
stoked.
But knowing how open Kings Canyon is,
Yeah.
and then whenever I'm assuming they're shelving Storm Point, we're hoping they haven't confirmed that.
Yeah.
But whenever it does come back again, I am not excited for Storm Point with 3 guns all appearing as ground loot. They get the Skull Piercer.
See, but like, here's the thing though, is even though there are those of us who stand the 30-30, right? People
Yeah.
didn't fucking use it. And so just because they put an attachment on it, people aren't gonna fucking use it, dude.
True.
They're not gonna use it
I-
because it's a hard gun to use.
I'm more concerned for the return of like the Longbow Lords. You know what I mean?
See, but like that's cool because maybe
Agreed.
that'll take people off the fucking charge rifle
Or off the Wingman. Yeah.
or off the wing. Nothing's gonna take them off the wingman, dude.
Well, actually, that's the next point I'm going to bring up. There was 2 ammo classification changes. It's
Yes.
funny. The more I read this list, Calvin, the more I'm convinced that somebody from the team listens to the show.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things on this list we have talked about. A couple
Right.
episodes ago, I addressed the light ammo issue. So
Yes,
on the note of the Wingman is now taking sniper ammo.
which makes
Reason-
sense.
Yes, because of how hard it hits and the range. But also, it hits so hard if you carry 3 stacks of ammo, or 2, it should be detrimental to you to carry a lot of
No,
wingman
absolutely, yeah.
ammo, and
Absolutely.
it's not right now. Like you could literally get away with 2 stacks of ammo and win the game with that.
with one wingman, yeah.
Yeah, which is so the Wingman is now a sniper. That does include the mags, for those of you wondering. No, there's nothing with a barrel attachment, and there's
That's dope.
nothing, and you can't put a 4-time scope on it. I know people are asking for that.
That'd be
But
cool.
It's not going to happen.
So
Um,
so here's the thing though, is that's dope. That's fucking dope because you know how hard it is to find sniper mags? Hard, right? You know what it is?
Mhm.
Sometimes how hard it is to find sniper ammo? Hard.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Agreed.
if you had if you were running the wingman, you find fucking gold mags everywhere. Fucking
Yep.
heavy purple mags and replicator every other day, dude. And
Mhm,
then
mhm.
fucking heavy ammo everywhere. So
Yep.
yeah, fuck you if you use the wingman.
The Spitfire is also light ammo now.
Yes, that's dope. I like that.
I like that. It is a little confusing, because we'll get to it later, but Rampage is one of the guns going in the care package.
Mhm.
So I think you could have left it heavy, but I get it. I
No,
get
so
it.
here's the thing though. Like I dig it, right? I think it's dope. I think it's a good idea because there needs to be variety.
Mhm.
Right? I'm talking about ammo variety. I'm talking about gun variety, right?
Yeah.
Because
No, you're right.
the light guns have had the most variety. They've had what you call it, semi-automatic pistol. They had fully automatic pistol. They have 2 SMGs, a slower and a fast one. They have an assault rifle and a marksman rifle, right?
Yep.
Just like so much shit there. Heavies have a lot of shit too, but the one thing that heavies had that lights didn't have was 2 LMGs,
Yeah.
right? 2
Yeah.
LMGs. So, switching the Spitfire over to the light kind of makes sense because there's so much fucking light on the map anyway.
Well,
What you call it? And heavy guns are supposed to hit harder, in my opinion, right?
yes.
They're supposed to hit harder. And
And
the
the Spitfire's
Rampage,
been nerfed into oblivion.
yeah. And so the Rampage hits harder than the LMG, like per bullet wise, right? But the Rampage is also harder to use than the Spitfire. So it makes sense that it's the only heavy LMG, right? It's like, for example, like the Devo. The Devo is the energy LMG, and that shit's difficult to use, right?
Yeah.
Or compared to the other ones. So it's like, that makes perfect sense. I dig it. I think it's a good idea.
Well, funny thing is though, the Rampage is in the care package now, so it doesn't take
Right.
heavy anymore.
Right, right,
But
right. So
also,
yeah.
yeah, and also in a weird dichotomy, I'll switch into this. You know, the other thing that's strange, you mentioned the devotion. The rumor, and this is not confirmed. Everything I've said so far is confirmed. This is not confirmed. It's looking like the RE45 with the hammer points and the devotion are going to be the 2 crafter items.
Ooh.
Which seems strange to me that they're going to allow the flatline, the wingman, and the R3 to all be back on the map at the same time.
Mhm.
But I get it. It's you know,
Yeah. No, I mean, that's cool. Like, here's the
again,
thing though.
those craft rotations are not confirmed though.
Right.
So
Right, right. So, I mean, that after rotation kind of makes sense though, because one, it clears the RE45 off the map, which
mhm.
is kind of scary because that means that's probably gonna be more P2020s. So,
Yeah,
not
but
so many
nobody
R.
actually knows how to use that gun anymore, so it's
Right,
fine.
right, and they don't. But I'm saying it's gonna be congested loot pool. Taking
Mhm.
the Devo off with the amount of fucking energy ammo I've been seeing everywhere is gonna be a lot of havocs everywhere, which is I think is a good thing
Mhm.
because people shouldn't have the best guns all the time.
Yeah.
So
Well, that brings me to my next point. It won't just be the Havoc because the other gun going into the care package, I already said the Rampage, is also the bow, which means the Volt and the G7 are coming back on the
oh,
map.
let's go.
So Volt, but I mean, dude, I'm one of those crazy people. I'll run Volt Havoc. I'll run double
Yes,
energy.
you
I'll
are.
do
I
it.
love the
I'll
vault.
do it all. I'll do it all day. It's
Mhm.
probably honestly, it's either going to be Volt Havoc or Havoc G7. It's going to be like my main loadout. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right. Oh, and the new gun, right?
No, there's no new gun
No
confirmed.
new gun.
So no new gun. Any gun changes and any new guns and any legend changes. None of that is dropping until the patch notes on Monday.
So we don't know.
Nothing. Yeah, we don't know. There hasn't
Okay.
even been the only 2 rumors I've heard is that Valk is being made into assault character,
Okay, makes
which
sense.
again, someone listens to the show. They took away
Okay.
her ability to scan the beacon,
Good.
and supposedly, again, this is a big supposedly. There's we should be expecting some massive change to Revenant because he has the one of the best heirlooms in the game. He's actually very integral to the lore part of the story in Apex right now.
Yeah.
He has been for over a year, like year and a half now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And there supposedly he's getting a fat, like he's the misused character or the unused character getting a big buff.
Nice.
Don't know if that's true, but how do you feel about the bow going into the care pack, Calvin?
I think it's good. I think it's good. I think the bow going to the Carepackage is good because for a couple of reasons. One, um, finding arrows was fucking difficult, right? And what's funny about it too is that sometimes if you find like the golden bow, it didn't come with arrows, and so you're just like, why do I have this?
Oh,
Why do I have this golden bow with no arrows? And you're
interesting.
like, fuck, now I gotta find arrows because I don't want to waste this golden bow. So it going to the Carepackage makes sense because you're gonna get arrows with it. Um, I think, and also it clears up the loot because there's no other weapon that uses arrows.
Hmm.
So like that makes sense. What was the other gun that going in? The Devo? No,
No, the Rampage.
the Rampage. Rampage going in is dope. Um, Because I think the biggest problem that the devs have is that no one wants to use the Hemlock. And so even though it fucking rips, dude, it's such a good gun, no one wants to use it. So take the Spitfire, make it a light gun. Take the Rampage, put it in the care package. What do you have left? You have the fucking the Prowler, the Hemlock, and the Flatline, right? 3 heavy guns, right? And if you want to use a heavy gun, right, you're kind of like, oh, okay, it's one of these 3 guns. So
Yep.
Siri, so it's like, you know, one of those 3 guns. So now is anybody gonna use heavy? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, interesting.
Well, I guarantee. What was it last season? We were both every day finding multiple gold sniper mags for no reason.
That's true.
I'm predicting that next season it's going to be the gold heavy mag because
Oh, for sure,
it
dude.
no longer benefits the Spitfire or the Wingman or the
Yeah.
Rampage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I'm excited about the Volt and the G7 both being ground loot again.
Yeah, dude, G7, fuck yeah, dude. I'm stoked.
Let's go. Let's go. That's literally going to be, you're just going to be running around with 2 of those.
I
the whole
love
time.
that gun, dude.
Dude, same. I'm excited. The only thing that is confusing me is like they're obviously trying to get the longbow's usage back up.
Mhm.
And most people that use the longbow will probably pick up a G7 first or instead.
Sure. Absolutely.
And I think that's the only thing where they're like, there's a little bit of a hiccup. But they can't bring the gun back to how it was. So I'm with you on that. I do agree with what you said with, the other gun stuff. I honestly, I like the Rampage being in the care pack because in game you now have something that can beat the Mastiff. Because imagine it's going to get a buff. So if you put the flame grenades in game in a Rampage, and keep in mind when you do that, it still shoots down doors.
Yes.
So that is like,
right.
That's scary. That's scary.
That's scary. My problem is though, is the Mastiff staying in the care package?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing beats that gun. That gun is too fucking strong. Number 1. Number 2, the Rampage. No one's gonna hoard thermites for end game just for a Rampage in the care package. You know what I'm saying?
True. True.
And
it's more
like
of a convenience thing, like when one drops. You know what I mean?
Sure. Like that gun is gonna be like the alternator in the care package. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like no one's gonna grab it.
I don't feel like I feel like some grabbed it, but I don't feel like people didn't like freak out when there was a Volt in the care package. Like it was still used a bit, but it wasn't like when the R99 was in.
Right. Well, yeah. So like when the Volt was in the care package, or now the Volt's in the care, people still pick it up. They're like, oh shit, a Volt, I'll pick this up. You know what I mean? Like fuck yeah. But like people are gonna go, oh, it's a Rampage, and no one's gonna grab it, dude. No one's gonna get it. It's just gonna be a wasted care package slot, in my opinion.
I agree. But you know what? Volt being back, that alone makes me happy.
That's huge.
And actually, one of the reasons I'm the most happy about it is one of the big we have a big gameplay and cosmetic change at the same time.
Okay.
SMGs and pistols are no longer taking barrel stabilizers. They are adding laser sights.
Yeah.
They're adding laser sights. You can RGB change the color at the menu like you could with the reticles.
So wait. Pistols and SMGs, no more barrels.
That took a barrel stabilizer, no longer do.
So the 99, the alternator,
99, alternator, Volt,
the
45.
Volt. That's it? I think so.
I think so. Yeah, because Prowler never took one.
Yeah, Prowler never took one.
P20 and Beak don't take one.
So wait. So, bro, the Prowler's going to be unstoppable.
Yes, because
holy shit.
So all it does, so just to clear this up for everybody, so you lose the ranged accuracy on your SMGs, but you significantly increase the hip fire accuracy.
Yeah.
But the lasers on the guns can be seen by your teammates and your enemies.
Sure.
So I think this will bring up a different. All I'm going to say is if anybody complains about Caustic after this season, you can just go get fucked because this is just ruining my boy like even more in my opinion. But that's not the point. But the Volt I think especially is going to suffer from no barrel.
True.
Alternator, didn't really need it. You should only be using that gun close to mid range, anyways.
Sure.
I think of all those guns that we listed, the Volt had the longest range.
The Volt was essentially like an R3.
Yeah,
shot
so
faster.
but I always thought the Volt sucked as a hip fire weapon. It wasn't the best.
I
but it
wasn't a
wasn't
fan
the
of it.
worst. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Volt gains.
Mhm.
You know, more than it loses. I think the other guns, I mean, who knows? We'll see. You know,
Right.
that R9 is already considered by some to be the top hip fire gun in the game. You
Yeah,
being one of
yeah,
those people.
exactly. And like losing the barrel on it, I don't really think it's gonna hurt it too much because like you could still snipe with the R3 or with the 99 without a barrel.
Yeah. Especially
But
on PC, it won't matter at all.
it's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
But the Prowler now,
Mhm.
dude, that's gonna rip, man. Like it already ripped, but
Yeah,
like
I already used it at medium range. People think I'm crazy.
oh, I know, me too. But
There's
like
been a couple streamers lately that have even been like, "Yo, Prowler with the Bruiser, that everyone should have that gun if you're on controller."
it's
Like,
stupid
period.
good.
Yeah.
Stupid good. But anyways, yeah, that's a huge buff for the Prowler.
Huge
Mark my words.
So we're almost done. We're almost done.
Mhm.
On the note, we talked one hop up that's coming back is the Skull Piercer.
Skull Piercer.
The second one is the double take,
Oh, the double tap.
or the double tap. Sorry, yeah, which I thought was weird. G7 hit. Remember, everybody, Calvin and I we've literally approached this on 4 different episodes, Calvin.
Yeah.
The G7 hip fire with the double tap is basically the Peacekeeper.
It's
Like,
stupid good.
if you hit both bullets, it is stupid good. So
It does like 70 damage.
yeah, so I love this. I love this being back. Also, the reason I love it being back is everyone already knew this was coming. Hearing that was the hop up coming back. My go-to, the Eva-8 is getting a buff.
Yes.
The bolts more increase the rate of fire more than they already do, and you can put a stock on the Eva-8. That is insane.
That's gross.
That
That's fucking gross.
That means it's going to return. Like, you remember, I used to have those clips where I was like, not at range that it shouldn't be working, just unloading on someone with an Eva-8 and downing them when they're already low. You know,
No,
I'm gonna be able to do long range fighting with the Eva-8 again.
Yeah, no, like the Eva-8 was great, and I think it's and it's still a solid gun. It's just it's not as good as the other ones. And we talked about it last episode.
Yes.
But now with the increased rate of fire, dude, and the double tap, say goodbye, say good night.
Good night.
Sleepy babies.
Okay, so we got 2 last things to talk about.
Okay.
The last one is something we'll probably both rant about, so I'm gonna go to the one prior to that.
Okay.
They have increased the level cap. Everyone assumed it was gonna be a measly like 200 or 1,000. So what they did is they increased it by 500 3 times.
Yes.
If you played Call of Duty, you're familiar. Well, actually, most shooters these days do the prestige system. So basically, they've added 3 prestiges to the game. So if you're 500 now, when you get enough experience, you'll reset to 1.
Yep.
The diamond has a whole bunch of different changes for each prestige that you're on. The first one is like a green tier. People are saying it's loosely octane themed. The next tier is more blue and turquoise to be like a lifeline theme.
Cool.
And then the final theme is everything's red because obviously that's like the highest tier.
The Predator, yeah.
Red is number is highest in the game. The interesting part about this, Calvin, the thing that I think is good is once you hit prestige level 2000 or prestige level 3, I don't know. I think it's going to be prestige.
Prestige 3 level 2000.
Prestige 3 level 500, but overall level 2000. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. By the time you do that, if you don't spend $1 on the game, you will have gotten 544 loot packs.
Yeah.
Now, the reason this number is important, everybody, is in the game, it is built in that every 500 loot packs, you're guaranteed an heirloom.
Right.
So, for those of you that have never gotten one, by the time you prestige, you will get one.
By the time you prestige to
the end. To
the very end.
Yes.
See, we need to clarify that. We need to figure that out because it wouldn't make sense to get an heirloom for every 500 because getting 500 takes fucking forever.
Yep.
You have to play a lot. You have to play so much, and they're like, "Nah, get to 2,000, and then we'll give you an heirloom." You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Here's the thing: they're not
you,
going to lose money if they give away 3 heirlooms. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's no.
Like,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
there's 20 characters. You know, like,
But it is nice that it gives us something to grind for.
true.
You know, they've said that legend tokens they're still going to be able to buy skins.
Yeah.
And for stuff, they are looking into other ways that we can spend legend tokens because, I mean, even if you're a casual player, you have so much of those fucking things lying around.
That's right.
So, but you know what? This is something nice to work towards, so I'm about it. I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. It's a nice
It
consolation.
slides into that like little too late category.
Sure.
For me, but
Yeah.
it's nice. It's still something.
It's nice.
Okay, the final confirmed change. Let me check my notes. Yes, is as we made the joke last week, Calvin. 90% of the changes to the game are to benefit the pros, and 10% are to benefit the casuals. That has finally struck again, I should say. Pardon my poor English there. The gold red shield and the backpack switched some abilities around.
Yes.
So Guardian Angel, which is the perk that allows you to res your teammates when you have the bag and they come back at half health, half shields.
Yes.
That perk is now on the gold red shield.
Yes. The level 4 gold knockdown shield.
Yes.
Is you have to have that in order to res someone to half health.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
And the backpack, the only change the gold backpack is getting, they stripped that ability away from it.
Yes.
You can now carry 1 more of every big heal. So you can carry 3 bats.
3 bats.
Carry 3 med kits. You can carry 2 Phoenix kits per stack.
Yes. Yes.
So
and they got rid of self res.
Yeah, so self res is gone. Self res is gone. Which that was, I mean, I really only saw pro players complaining about that. And then one of the guys that listens to the show, Lee, I know you're listening to the episode. This is just one of those things I disagree with you on, bro. Like, you know, like don't play so passive if you're worried about a gold res shield. You know what I mean? Part of the reason I love playing Caustic, like,
right.
When I down somebody, I ult them.
Right. Here's the thing though, is like the problem isn't the gold red shield. The problem isn't the gold red shield because the biggest complaint about that the pros had was that it would be final circle, everything's finally closing, everyone jumps out because they have to, and everyone fights. One team can knock down the other team. It'd be 3-on-3. Team A knocks down everybody in Team B, but Team B all has gold knockdown shields. But because of how long it takes for someone to die in the circle, Team A could die first while Team B still has health. Because in the gunfight in the initial gunfight, Team A does more damage to Team B to knock them down, but Team A still took damage. Yeah. But because Team B has gold knockdown shields, they essentially get a full health bar, while Team A does not have a full health, and they don't have enough time to out heal a full health bar of knockdown enemies. So how do you mitigate this? Don't give people who got knocked down a full health bar.
Yeah.
Give them less. Give them like 20 health.
Yeah, and a good suggestion that I saw that actually Solidius Lee, we interact with him on Twitter, and he listens to the show every week. Thank you again for that, Lee. One thing he said was like, you can only self-res yourself if one of your other teammates is still up. So you can't use the self-res function if you're all knocked. I was like, cool suggestion.
Oh, yeah,
another suggestion was like, you just can't use self-res final circle.
Sure.
Which also makes sense.
Which also makes sense.
What I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I get why they did this, but you know, Calvin, you and I have this crazy theory, or I do, I guess I should say, where they always do things to the game to try to influence the lowest character's pick rate. Who's the lowest pick character right now?
Newcastle.
Who does this change benefit the most?
Newcastle.
Because he no longer needs the gold bag. It's no longer relevant to him.
Yeah.
He already needs the better knockdown anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
They just made Newcastle the best reser in the game.
Essentially. Yeah, 100%.
Because he gets double the bonuses from that from that item now.
Yeah, he gets the best knockdown shield damage wise to pull someone away, and he gets the half health res. Yeah, essentially making Gibby useless in terms of res. You know,
Also,
Gibby's
quick. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, quick tip for all you Newcastle players out there. I don't think they've patched it yet. If you unequip your knockdown shield, your res makes no noise.
That's funny.
Because the noise is from you popping the shield out.
Right. Oh, that's pretty cool.
But you plugging the drone cord into the person you're resing doesn't make any noise. So
yeah. So
anyways, what were you saying about Gibby?
This kind of makes Gibby's viability in like the comp circuit much smaller, because we did see. You know what's funny? It's funny that the last ALGS tournament, there were people playing Newcastle, which was odd, right? Because people were like, why play Newcastle when you can play Gibby, right? But Gibby was obviously the number one pick because he's, you know, the best character in the game. One of. But now and then people still pick Newcastle. And so take this trip down to the conspiracy theory zone with me. Newcastle is a new character. People picked him for some fucking reason, right? You're like, why they pick Newcastle? Doesn't make any sense. The pros also get access to features in the game before we get them, or we even know about them.
I believe it's only 2 weeks, though. I see where you're going.
So maybe a lot of the pros were given access to be like, hey, this is a new thing that's going to be happening. So people are preemptively learning how to play comp with Newcastle, so that when these changes come, Newcastle's the top shield guy, baby boy.
I'm actually going to add on to your conspiracy right now.
Okay, tell me.
I briefly mentioned it a couple episodes ago. The team that started the Valk Gibby comp is that same team that discovered. It was the same team that placed top 3 with Newcastle.
Yeah, see,
top 5. Top 5. So but they're the 2 players credited with creating the Valkyrie
Gibby comp.
comp. Like they created that meta.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? Because think about it.
You might not be wrong. You might not be wrong. I'm not saying you're right, but you might not be wrong.
But think about this, right? Because what was Gibby's viability in comp? Fucking fat boy, so he doesn't slow down when he gets shot, right? Gun shield, so he has that little extra buff to beat you in a one-on-one fight, right? But the biggest one was Dome fast res.
Yep.
Dome fast res, right? Now it's like, you know, give Gibby the knockdown shield. You know, like does Gibby always gonna get the knockdown shield now? Like it's like, you know, switch it up. Like what's gonna happen here? It doesn't make any sense because it's still Dome res and it's still fast, but like Newcastle now, it's like, you know, fucking shield res. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So keep in mind with his ult, you can actually you can transport almost instantaneously to the downed person if they're not with you.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like maybe Gibby's not 100% out of the picture, but Newcastle is climbing the ranks. So who knows? They added what you call it? Heals. They added healing items for the backpack. Is a whatever move. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm with you on that. Oh well, anyways, okay, that was the bulk of the show. So listeners, it's time. It's time for our
first off, listeners, if this is your first time you're hearing about all these patch notes, let us know what your thoughts are about everything we talked about. Hit us up on all the social media platforms. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. At PexPals Podcast. And if you're emailing type, email us at PexPalsPodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our website, PexPals.com. You can listen to this episode. You can watch this episode. You can talk to us there. You'll find the links to talk to us there too. Go check it out. Joe Cupcake, what do you got?
Well, and on that note, I'll remind the listeners, stay glued to our socials.
Yes,
we will be launching a merch store finally,
that's correct.
and a Discord very soon.
That's correct.
Very soon.
We'll be doing a Discord. It'll be called Pex Pals Discord, the only Discord server for the mediocre gamer.
Yes, what he said. And we'll have a merch store with just some basic merch designs. Calvin and I, we do this out of the kindness of our heart. So if you like the show and you want to support, we will appreciate it. That'll probably be live in the next 2 days.
Correct.
Now on to the reason everyone listens to the show, Calvin, our weekly debates on what our weapons of the week are. And I feel like I always go first, Calvin. So what is your weapon of the week?
My weapon of the week.
I want you to go first.
So the week has been a little funny. I've touched the game here and there. It's because I'm burnt out on comp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like for me lately, it feels like in order to play Apex Legends, I have to be like in the zone because everyone's so fucking sweaty now.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
when
this is like the only way to have fun.
dude,
That's
it's
like the sad part.
It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
So for me, when I did get on, and I was just kind of just like going through the motions of like a quick pub match. The tried and true, man, the 45, dude. The 45 with and without the hammer points. Like obviously with the hammer points, it's fucking killer. And we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
But like even without the hammer points, it's stupid accurate. The DPS is incredibly high.
Yeah.
Like it's just that quick go-to gun because it also has the sidearm perk where it comes out faster when you switch weapons. So it's just like, I feel like I do some of my best work with the 45, just hanging out and being my backup gun. So yeah, so that's my weapon of the week is the R45. What are you, Joe? What do you got?
Same thing I always got, man.
Uh-oh.
The Havoc, dude.
The Havoc, dude.
Dude, I so some of you follow me on social media. Like I posted some clips. Actually, I posted it from the Pex Pals page the other day too. But it's like, I mean, like you said, it's been rough lately, Calvin. Like I pulled off the we dropped and then 2 teams landed on us, and I pulled off the 1v3 with the Havoc.
Whoa, you did it.
I had the Havoc, I had no mag, and I had a gray stock and no turbocharger.
Okay.
It was just one of those games where like we landed out of what the very top of the map near tree. I think it's launch site on World's Edge. There's like the big building that looks over Lava Siphon. There's a bunch of crates right out in front of it. We were like right out there. And basically like they downed one of my guys. They pushed. I downed the one they pushed, but then like I just put my mines in logical out of sight positions. So like when they run by the cover, if they don't jump over it, my mine will tick on them. Dude, both these dudes, Calvin just ran in a straight line towards me, right past the edge of the cover, hitting multiple of my mines. So all I had to do was just jump out. Didn't even ADS the Havoc because, as we've talked about,
you don't have to.
Fire is the way to go.
Yeah.
And I just hip fire, melted one, duck behind a corner. I popped a single cell. And then the fuse runs through not one, but 2 of my mines, just ticking for damage the whole way.
Oh my God.
And then on the second one, I literally just climb above him on the boxes, start hip firing the Havoc, jump down, just wipe him.
That's amazing.
About the teammates started, like, they literally were in a party and they left the party. We're just screaming, like, we fucking win this. We don't like, they were like, yo, dude, like, fuck our party. We will talk to you the rest of the game. I was like, thanks, bros. I was like, I appreciate that. Like that was tight. I think we ended up getting like 3rd that game. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
That's dope.
But yeah, so Havoc, dude, again, I just.
It's a great gun, dude. It's a great gun.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got, Joel? What else you got for me?
But last week on the show, we kind of did say we would talk about this. Why SEER is a problem. I mean, I think I have 2 very basic answers for this question. I'll let you go into more detail because you're the expert.
Go ahead.
The first is he falls in the line of Horizon, where he has an uncounterable, unfair physic that only applies to him.
Which is
and the second point is he has wall hacks.
What's the physic that applies to him?
The wall hacks of being able to scan through a wall permanently, and nobody has a counter.
So wait, you're saying that he has an ability like Horizon's physics ability.
Sorry, yes.
Okay. I'll just specify.
Basically, my point is they added something to the game that shouldn't have been added. Horizon, we had a whole episode about how
we did
like her passive, her gravel, just all of it together. She brought a new dichotomy to the game that was not. I still don't think she should exist to an extent in the game, and I think Seer's the only other person that's ever made me feel that way.
True. Okay.
And then my second point is just the wall hacks, man. You know what I mean? That's why he's a problem. Like I'm seeing an argument on Twitter that I absolutely love, and it makes sense, Calvin, if you think about it.
Tell me about it.
Seer should not be able to detect Pathfinder and Revenant.
Revenant or Ash.
Or Ash, because all three of them are fully mechanical robots. So they don't have a heartbeat. You know what I mean? I would be okay with that, you know? I would be completely okay with that change. It's a subtle change. But you know, we had we have fortified for the big boys. What was the perk they got rid of? Low profile?
Low profile.
So they got rid of low profile. Thank God. Oh man, imagine the game now with how many people play it and still having that in. Jesus.
Yeah.
They got rid of low profile, which actually made you take more damage. For those of you that didn't know what that perk is, you took more damage on non-body shots. So if you got shot like in the legs or whatever, you actually took more damage.
Yeah, because you're so big.
Yeah. So they got rid of that. It was on like what Pathfinder, Lifeline, and Watson, which also made no sense.
Yeah, which made no sense. Yeah.
So, but you know, if the robot character's got a passive where Seer couldn't see them, you would definitely see an uptick in all three, but especially like Ash and Pathfinder. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it makes sense too. It's kind of like maybe Bloodhound too, because Bloodhound scans organics. You know what I mean? Like Bloodhound scanning, like I don't know. So I see. Yeah, so this brings into like a whole nother conversation, but we'll get into that in a second. But like the Seer thing, right? Like, so
why is there a problem, Calvin? Why? Tell me.
So the wall hacks, not wall hacks, but the Q, the tactical, which it's a vision blast like Bloodhounds, but it's direction. It's in a single direction or a single like little circle, and it interrupts you for some reason. And so I get that. I saw his whole thing is micro drones, right? He has these nano drones or whatever the fuck. And because nano is smaller than micro, that's a science lesson for you.
Thanks,
so
Calvin.
He's got these nano drones that I guess scan you, or like they go through all the environments to find you. Now, why they interrupt you from doing an item, I don't know. It used to be worse. It used to do 10 damage, which was insane.
And have that big optic blast, right?
It was a vision. It blinded you. It interrupted you, and it did 10 damage. It was nuts. But they patched it. They got rid of the blast. It still like stuns you a little bit. And it still interrupts you. So like I don't agree with that. I don't think there should be anything in the game that interrupts you, right? Unless unless it's like a gun or a grenade or an actual damage and something that's supposed to do damage. So I think getting rid of that would make him a little bit better. But number two, the wall hacks, right? And Seer is a better Bloodhound in the sense that with the wall hacks, you can find people and then vision blast them. Bloodhound's just like, where are they at? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what's good about Seer's thing is that you can never get like snuck up on, because you can go around, peek around and find all the beating hearts. And then Seer's ultimate, right? It shows you where everybody is all the time for the duration of the ultimate, whereas
unless they're crouching, right?
Crouching, right? And whereas Bloodhounds, it's like you got to keep vision blasting and stuff like that, So he's the better Bloodhound. He kind of makes the character. There should be no character in the game of the same ability that makes the other character obsolete. And so like, why play Bloodhound when you can play Seer and know exactly where everybody is all the time?
Yeah.
all the time, with or without ultimates. You know what I mean? So yeah. So Seer does need some tweaking. Seer does need something
Yeah.
to make him a little bit more game breaking, like
Well,
when Horizon was on release. You know?
yeah. Well, and to your point, like the whole going through walls thing, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like Maggie's Q does that for a very small time and it's damaging. It doesn't pause your ability. Rev's Fireball, and it silences you
Yeah.
for however many seconds. You know what I mean? The only other ability that hits you through a wall that's not a scan is Crypto's drone.
Crypto's drone.
What was the first nerf they ever did to his drone?
They the what was it? The damage to it?
Yeah, it's hard set at 50 damage.
Yeah, hard set.
And it's just to shields. I don't think it
Just the
hurts you if
shield.
your shields.
Doesn't
Yeah.
touch your health.
So
No.
so they knew that the ability for that ult to go through walls no matter what was overpowered. And
Mhm.
they hard capped him. Why
Right.
hasn't happened to Seer?
True. True. I mean, they did some nerfs to the damage, but like, yeah, he's still essentially the same thing. He's still essentially
Yeah.
the same character because interrupting a heal is
Mhm.
huge. Like
Yeah.
that's like because you shoot somebody, you're like, oh man, I know I did flesh on them, and now I know they're gonna heal, and I'm just gonna vision blast them, interrupt their heal, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
push them, and they're gonna be so fucking weak. I'm gonna win that fight. You know what I mean?
Every character in the game should have at least one counter, two if you count Revenant silencing you.
Mm-hmm.
Seer doesn't have that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's whack.
Yeah.
It's whack. That's
I
whack.
agree.
But you know what? Calvin, all I got left for you?
Hmm.
Prezi for Fusey, baby. You got an album suggestion for us this
I
week?
do have an album suggestion for
Lay it on me.
my this week's motherload music suggestion of this week is so you and I, Joe Cupcake, we listen to almost exclusively metal music, right?
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part, right?
Yeah.
We both listen to a lot of different varieties, but it's primarily metal music.
Correct.
And so and it's been decades. But like my
You're like,
wife my wife doesn't listen to metal music. She is what we call a music normie. And she listens to just regular radio music and stuff like that.
how dare you
Um
talk about the regional manager like that?
she doesn't really have like a musical like thing about her. She doesn't play the guitar, she doesn't sing, she doesn't do anything. So she's very like when I listen to music, I'm a musician, so like I'm listening
Mhm.
to it like musically and also artistically.
Oh yeah, makes
Um
sense.
and so um upon meeting me, she didn't really pay attention to music the way I pay attention to music, right? The way a musician would pay attention to
Fair,
music. But
fair.
I've
Yeah.
been teaching her things and expressing like, oh, this is why I like this and blah, blah, blah. But for years, like a decade, I could not get her to listen to metal music. She just wouldn't do it. She couldn't
Yeah.
get past the screaming, right? Which is most people's problem.
Correct.
She couldn't get past the screaming. It was just something for her. It was just mental block, right? Because she wasn't used to
Yeah.
it. And then finally, where I'll listen to like my Apple like Calvin's station where it plays random songs for you, right?
Yeah.
And a song popped up, and at the end of it, she was like, "I really like that song." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you joking?" She goes, "No, I really like it." And now it's like one of her favorite songs. It's the song "Dead Ringer" off of Knocked Loose Laugh Track album. So Knocked Loose is a very famous hardcore band, and their album Laugh Tracks is like their go-to album for most everybody who likes Knocked Loose. But the song Dead Ringer fucking rips, and I've been listening to it a lot lately because it just popped up again. I was like, oh
That's
fuck
tight.
yeah.
That's
So
tight.
yeah, so
Good
very
band. Good
long-winded
band.
answer, but Knocked Loose Laugh Tracks album, so great. Okay, what do you got?
Mine's not even an album, it's a band.
Oh, it's a band.
Just listen to Every Time I Die. That's all I have to say. They broke up this year. It destroyed me and a lot of our friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, just listen to Every Time I Die.
Every
That's it.
time I die.
Doesn't matter which record.
Solid
I would
band.
probably go start with Hot Damn if you want the real vibe.
Yeah.
But you just listen to Every Time I Die. That's it.
Solid answer.
That's all I got. That's it.
Thanks everybody.
Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. Thanks, Calvin.
Thanks everybody for listening to this episode. We'll be back with another episode next week. My name is Calvin. This is Joe Cupcake. Love you guys. Bye.